A cruise ship named Cerberus was crossing the Atlantic Ocean, departing from London with its destination set for New York. The ship was filled with immigrants from various countries. In one of the rooms, numbered 1011, a woman suddenly awoke from a nightmare. Upon waking, she discovered two strange scars on her hands, and bizarrely, she seemed to have lost the memory of how she got them. At the same time, there was a newspaper on the floor, which reported that a cruise ship named Prometheus had been missing for 4 months, and to this day, there was still no news of its whereabouts. The woman felt a bit strange after reading the information. She then opened a mailing card with a peculiar symbol on the table, and the sender was named Kate. The contents of the card read, "Meet me in New York, don't trust anyone, brother." As a flood of memories surged into her mind, the woman muttered to herself in the mirror, "I'm not crazy." It turned out that the woman's name was Laura, and her purpose was to go to New York to meet her brother Kate. When she arrived at the luxurious dining hall of the cruise ship, it was already filled with all sorts of people. Perhaps due to the different languages spoken by people from various countries, some complained that even if they shouted loudly, no one could understand what they were saying, while others seemed not to know how to use knives and forks. Laura found an empty seat and sat down. Not long after, a woman dressed in green suddenly sat down beside her. The other party seemed to know Laura. From their conversation, it was learned that Laura's current identity was that of a doctor, and she mainly researched the human brain. The woman casually asked if there was anything interesting about the brain, and Laura expressed that it contained the mysteries of the universe. The woman did not speak, but instead picked up the cup on the table. However, a bizarre scene appeared. Except for Laura, all the other people simultaneously raised their cups. When the two spoke again, a man in black suddenly burst in, loudly shouting if there was a doctor present, as a woman downstairs urgently needed medical attention. However, no one responded to him because there was a class division here. The wealthy people lived in the first-class cabins on the top floor and could enjoy fine dining, while the poor could only squeeze into the large room below, where 3 meals a day were a problem. As the man was escorted back by the crew, the people around just watched quietly, not affecting their continued eating and drinking in the slightest. Seeing this scene, Laura followed him, wanting to see what had happened. When she followed the man downstairs, it turned out to be a pregnant woman whose stomach was inexplicably in constant pain. Laura found a cup and listened carefully, feeling that the baby inside should have been entangled by the umbilical cord. She said that she would use some techniques to change the baby's position and told the woman to endure the pain. A little girl acted as a translator and told the others. Then, under the shocked eyes of the crowd, Laura used techniques to change the baby's position, and the woman seemed to no longer feel the pain. The man who had gone upstairs for help earlier thanked her. When Laura was washing her hands and preparing to leave, the little girl suddenly came forward and expressed that she also wanted to become a doctor like Laura in the future. She then asked Laura if she had any children. It was at this moment that strange memory fragments suddenly flashed in Laura's mind, and she left in horror. At the same time, on the other side, the captain suddenly received a set of strange distress signals. According to the coordinates on the signal, it was determined that the location was about 7 hours away from them. Could this be the Prometheus? No, for that had disappeared for 4 months. Because these two cruise ships belonged to the same company, the captain made a temporary decision to go there and have a look. However, when this giant cruise ship turned its helm, the people on board all sensed the change in direction. Many people involuntarily showed terrified expressions, thinking that the cruise ship was preparing to return.